If today an AI can already write code in seconds, the question is no longer, is it possible to build it? It becomes, can we trust it? Because the faster we generate code, the faster we launch. And the faster we do that, the greater the hidden risk. The bottleneck is no longer development, it's quality. And this is exactly where DeepAgent comes in. It's not just another automated testing tool. It was designed as an AI quality assurance engineer, operating at the same level of reasoning as a good human professional, but at scale, without fatigue, and on demand. So now we're going to see how all of this works in practice. Alright, let's get to the video. DeepAgent is an AI designed to think like a quality assurance agent, not just execute scripts. While most tools ask, did the expected flow work? DeepAgent asks, what's the fastest way for this to break in production? It combines logical reasoning, risk analysis, structured testing, and exploratory testing. What does that mean? DeepAgent doesn't just run predefined tests. It decides what to test based on risk, impact, and context. That means fewer useless tests and more focus on what can actually break a product. And the most impressive thing is that it can test as a beginner user, an advanced user, an administrator, an internal operator, and why not, a customer about to abandon the product. Another detail is that DeepAgent doesn't get tired, doesn't lose context, and doesn't relax after hours of testing. It maintains the same level of attention before launch, after refactorings, in fast releases, and in complex environments. So let's see how all of this works in practice. I asked DeepAgent to create the following for me. A mobile exercise tracking app where I can log workouts with type, duration, and calories burned. Show daily statistics, a weekly summary, and the history of past workouts. Use a database so that all workouts are saved and can be analyzed over time. He thought for a few moments, built the code, and gave me this result here. Quite satisfactory, with everything working perfectly. But I thought this UI was a bit weak. I wanted something more modern, more fitness-oriented, that could catch the user's attention more. So I took a screenshot of this image I found on the internet and asked the following. Redo the UI to make it more modern, similar to the attached image. He thought for a few more moments and then gave me this new version. Look how much better and more modern it looks, with these vibrant colors and everything working perfectly. Responsive icons, all the screens here are very fluid anyway. It's a 10 out of 10 and it turned out much better. At first glance, it looks like this app is perfect, like it's ready to be published on the App Store or Google Play. But a very important factor is that before you do that, before you publish it on an app store, for example, it needs to go through quality control. So, instead of doing this manually, why not use DeepAgent itself to automate this task? See, I wrote here, take my exercise tracking app and create a comprehensive test plan for it. Execute the plan end-to-end just like a real user would. Identify and document any broken user flows, links, images, or unexpected behaviors. Capture clear evidence of each issue and provide a test report in HTML format. Why is this very important? Because he will do a complete analysis of my application to see if everything is working as expected. So, it starts running code, goes into the application, tests each menu, each icon, each link, and in the end, gives me a report saying what is working and what needs to be improved. While the visual part loads, notice that it already shows me the test plan it executed. So, I have the summary of the results, critical bugs found and fixed, fixed files, then the HTML report that he is loading now. Done, it's loaded. Test report. Tests passed, 18. Bugs found, 4 bugs fixed, 4 total tests, 21. And then, it shows the complete breakdown of everything that was done and what was fixed in my application. So this quality control is essential so that you don't have problems when you submit your app to the App Store or Google Play. Because for sure, if there's any mistake, they won't approve it and you'll have to redo the work. So it's good to run this quality test beforehand so you don't have problems in the future. Look how interesting. Critical bugs found and fixed. Field incompatibility. Incorrect calorie reading. Workout update with incorrect field. Incorrect calorie display on the card. He tested my app, saw that it was wrong, brought the report, and more than that, he fixed the error. And you can see that the report here is quite complete. It shows me step by step everything that was done to improve my app. Of course, this part of checking if the app is working is fundamental. But we also need to understand if the user will be able to navigate, if they will have access to all the menus, if the conversion part is also working properly. So for that, I can run a second prompt and ask DeepAgent to do the analysis for me. Test all user-facing forms. Using realistic fake data, submit each form and check if the confirmation or expected response is correctly delivered by email. Report missing emails, incorrect content, delays, or broken submission flows. And log critical bugs in the connected Jira account. To prove that he really understands what's in your app, listen to what he's saying here. Analysis of the app's forms. The fitness tracker app has the following forms. Add text, not available. Edit workout, not available. Set goal, not available. These email features here, they're missing. So he noticed that and included it for me in the report. Then he makes some important remarks. No email functionality. This app does not have email integration. It's a personal tracking app that saves data locally in the database, displays information via a snack bar in the interface, and doesn't send confirmation emails, notifications, or reports. Then he also realized that there is no Jira integration. I don't have access to a connected Jira account to log bugs. For that, it would be necessary to set up Jira API credentials and provide the Jira project URLs. Well, since I don't have either of these two features, he tells me here how I should proceed. Add the email features, test the existing forms, or set up Jira integrations. Since I didn't want to integrate with Jira, and even less add email features, I asked him to test the existing forms and check if the visual confirmations were working properly. So this here is the form test report. Besides this visual part here, which is quite complex, I have all the information organized visually. Here on the left side, I have the summary of the results, with past tests, failed tests, tested forms, and the success rate. And then I have all of this shown here visually, also available in table format. With the following conclusion, all 16 form tests were executed successfully. Form to add workout, form to edit workout, form to set goals, the validations, snack bars, and dashboard. So did you notice how important this is? Besides evaluating whether my app is working correctly, I can also test user interaction. Anyway, it's a complete test. Not just the interface, but also the user experience. Now, can DeepAgent also validate the navigation flow of a website, for example? Yes, it can. Take a look at what I asked. I want you to test all the navigation flows on my website. And here I use the Abacus AI website itself. But you can replace it with any site you want. Then, before starting the analysis, it asked me a few questions to understand exactly what I wanted, and then it started analyzing the site. What's most interesting is that it navigates through the site, tests, clicks on the links, and tests the entire interface of my website. So that's really cool because it does a simulated navigation as if it were a real user to see exactly what's working and what's lacking. And in the end, it brought me the navigation test report. So here I have my URL, the date, and the type. I had here 10 tests executed, 9 passed, 2 warnings, and 1 problem found. Overall, the status was good. The site shows good overall functionality with all the main links working correctly. Some issues related to responsiveness and UX were identified that can be improved. Here he also brings up the pages and sections tested. Reader navigation, passed. Sign-in button, passed. Now the Learn More link redirects to the FAQ, not the dedicated pricing. So here there's a warning I need to address. And in the end, the only problem he found. Problems with the mobile viewport, that is, when you try to view the site on the mobile app. And then he provides a breakdown of the problem found. Severity, medium, location, main page and mobile viewport. The title Abacus AI DeepAgent appears cut off, truncated, when viewed on mobile devices. The layout does not adapt properly to smaller screens. The impact. Users on mobile devices may have difficulty reading the main content of the page, and then it shows here what steps should be followed to fix this error. So it's a complete report that also works for websites. So if you have a web page out there, you can ask DeepAgent to do a complete analysis of that site. It will simulate browsing, it will interact with your site as if it were a real user, and in the end, it will give you a browsing report. Really comprehensive, so you can analyze and see what can be improved. Cool, right? We're entering an era where building software is instantaneous. So trusting that software needs to be instantaneous too. AI writes the code and DeepAgent automates quality control. And the team can launch faster, with less risk and more confidence. If you want to better understand how DeepAgent works, the links are here in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. Alright, see you next time. Bye bye.